Hello, Frog fans. Welcome to Postgame Beers Podcast. We are the Lupton Drinking Club. I'm your host, Kyle Malloy, joined by my co-host, Jacob Sailors. We've also got Ray Cartwright. Unfortunately, we will be missing our friends Martin and Garrett tonight during the recap, but they'll be back later this week. Fellas, as a reminder, actually, fans, listeners, as a reminder, these are our initial thoughts, our recap of the weekend. If you want a more detailed breakdown of individual player performance, maybe some trends throughout the season, more advanced analytics from JD, our guy himself, join the LDC Patreon, where they will post a second pod, aka the Deep Dish, on Thursdays. And they're going to really dive in deep to some of that stuff. And we've got a really healthy amount of subscribers so far, beat our projections, preseason projections by 50%. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed so far. So those pods are going to be behind the paywall, but we'll keep these recaps free. We're going to do Toadcasts. Those are going to stay free. Hopefully we've got one on Friday night against UCLA. Anyway, is that our plan for Friday night? Toadcast?
Yeah, I didn't know the game was on FS1, so that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can get a Toadcast rolling. Everybody will be able to watch, and we'll work on securing a guest, and you can join us and cheer in real time with us. It's a lot of fun. We did them last year. They were a blast. We had a lot of fun. I think the listeners had a lot of fun. Got to kind of just take in the game with us. It's a good time.
All right, before we roll into the weekend, you guys, I don't know if you're watching the Olympics, it doesn't matter, but you've probably seen the luge, which is a single man, feet first, head back. You've seen the skeleton, which is head first.
Mm-hmm.
You've also seen the bobsled, which is a lot of fun, big, team event. Have you witnessed the doubles luge, my friends?
No, I have not, but I've seen clips of it. It's
okay.
Wild sport.
So the doubles luge is person on person, straight on top. Yeah. My question for us is, of the five of us, all right, number one, who would be the best teammates, like two-person team, to actually do well? And second, if we put this up to a vote from our fans, who would they want to see most out of the two of us?
Jacob, MK is asking who's going to be a good power bottom.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm probably sitting that one out. But dude, Garrett's like a marathon runner. That's got to be handy, right?
Garrett and Kyle.
That's what I'm saying. What if I was on bottom? Garrett's on top.
Somebody make the AI image of that.
Yeah.
But who would they want to see most? I got to think Ray's on there somewhere, either top or
Ray
bottom.
I would say Martin too, because they know it'd make him miserable. The most. So.
They know I'm up for any hijinks.
Yeah, Martin is not up for any hijinks. So.
And let's just make Martin as miserable as possible.
Exactly.
Maybe he'll be more comfortable on top of Ray.
You should bring back post-game picks and make that the payoff.
All right. Okay, so we're going to spend some time on the incredible Coors Light meetup before game 2. But first, what we're going to do is going to roll through game 1, and then we'll jump into that. So game 1, Vanderbilt, sponsored by our friends at Anduno. They make incredible travel gear and recovery gear for athletes. I actually used my travel duffel backpack this weekend. It was incredible. Follow them on anduno.products on Instagram. If you do that, and you subscribe to the Patreon, then you will be your name will be in a drawing to win one of their Anduno bags, which retails for $170, which again, that's fairly cheap considering how awesome it is, but it's still a lot of money to save. So
and I got to announce something else too with Anduno while you're talking about them. So they're running a deal right now where they have jackets for sale, and they're sweet looking jackets.
Dude, they are.
Go to their Instagram and check that out. What happens is you buy a jacket, then he's going to supply a TCU swimmer with one of those therapy guns, those Theraguns or whatever, and also one of the travel duffel bags. So the swimmers will get that for free, courtesy of you buying yourself a jacket. So that's going on for like another week or so. So hop on that, go get a jacket, help out the TCU swim team.
Therapy gun isn't another name for steroids, is it? Just want to.
No.
Okay.
Of course not. I mean, not stealing them. Get me some of them. Be like that Vanderbilt catcher.
Speaking of,
like that segue.
right, Frogs beat Vanderbilt 5-4 with the help of home runs from Sawyer and Lucas Franco, freshman phenom. They scored 3 in the 8th because of our catcher friend who threw an errant ball on a drop third strike over to first base. That scored Cole, Kramer, and Sawyer. Tommy went 5 innings, had a decent outing, just allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. We also saw pitching Tanner Sagusby, Nate Stern, Walter Quinn. They made it interesting in the 9th inning because this guy, what's his name? Colin Barzy, he was killing us.
Yeah.
3 home runs on the night, had his 3rd one in the 9th inning, but fortunately they were able to hold him off and the Frogs win 5-4.
Yeah. It's opening day, so you're already the adrenaline's flowing. I was trying to keep myself within a certain calmness level because it was opening day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't contain the excitement. And then you throw on top of that, we're playing Vanderbilt, a college baseball blue blood. And then the game comes down literally to like the last pitch. And you saw home runs, saw extra base hits, saw good and bad defense. So quite the perfect opening day, if you ask me.
All right. We'll get back to some more details about game 1, but game 2, the Arkansas game, sponsored by Coors Light, Choose Chill. So we're going to talk about the game, but shout out to Coors Light. They helped us host an event at Sports and Social at Texas Live. Guys, I wasn't there, unfortunately. I had to be out of town, but I want to hear how awesome this was to be with TCU fans, LDC fans, and also just the TCU young alumni who came and showed up and drank Coors Light together.
I feel like after this weekend, if we're going to talk about a party, Ray needs to be the one to lead this conversation because Ray was leading the LDC in partying this weekend.
Oh my God. I don't know if I can lead any conversations today. We're still recovering from the weekend. We had some fun, boys. We had some fun.
Ray, I've seen you go hard before, but I don't think I've ever seen you go that hard.
Well, I got a text from one of our good friends, Cam. Shout out Cam. He said on Thursday, he says, I need you locked in this weekend. I need Matt Perk level dominance out of you all weekend.
So the party MK, it was great. We have to shout out the TCU Young Alum Group.
Yeah.
Because when we were getting up there to get set up, there was a little bit of confusion about where we were going. And as it turns out, the events planner had booked us in the wrong room. So we kind of just said, let's just stay here in Sports and Social because that's where everybody's coming. And let's just make it work. And it did, but it turns out the spot we stole happened to be booked by the TCU Young Alum Group. And they were super, super cool about it. Said, let's just merge it into one big party. So, yeah, we just kind of turned it into a team effort with those guys. So, big thanks to them for being cool about it, or else.
Shout out Matt.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt, dude. Super cool dude.
Yeah, dude. It was a great turnout. I can't even imagine what the bar tab was. I just know that the poor bar back was pretty much going from upstairs, loading in the fridge with Coors Light bottles, and then going right back down and grabbing another case because we were just filling up buckets and handing them out. And Coors Light picked up the tab for everybody, and it was just a great party.
Thanks to Coors Light for sponsoring or partnering with us. We're gonna hopefully not make that the only event we have the year. We'd like to get together and do some, whether it's tailgates or whatever. We're gonna chat with them, and we'll make sure to shout that out because you guys can show up and actually get some free drinks before the game. So that's awesome. Thanks to them. All right.
Then
so
baseball.
Game 2, Frogs win their second game in a row, 5-4. They jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Arkansas kind of crawled their way back throughout the game. Frogs were clinging to that. It was the 7th inning, and here comes Noah Franco, our utility /DH /outfielder guy, to come in. He pitches 3 shutout innings to end it. Ended up getting the Big 12 Pitcher of the Week award for that. This game set an attendance record for Globe Life for college baseball, which is pretty cool, just under 23,000. Y'all two were there.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm interested in is how awesome was that environment?
Dude, did you see the picture circulating the internet of the whole crowd in purple? I mean, it's just
Yeah. Dude, it was complete. I didn't see a single Arkansas fan all night, dude.
it was crazy. Now, you know what you're going to get when Arkansas comes to town. It's going to be packed. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be high energy and an extremely talented team. So, in a lot of ways, similar to the Vanderbilt game, two really good teams going at it, hyper competitive to the end. And, it went our way this year.
I'm sure it's nice to walk out surrounded by Arkansas fans, holding your head up high,
Yeah, right.
Common feeling, to be honest.
All right, game 3 on Sunday, Oklahoma. This is sponsored by our friends at Long Drink, our oldest running sponsor, refreshing long drink from the Finns over there. We appreciate Caden and all of he's done for us. So, and as well as Chinook Seedery, the best seeds around. I enjoyed some jalapeno ranch of the game on Sunday, so thank you to Chinook. But this game, unfortunately, was over pretty early. The Sooners scored 5 in 5 of the 7 innings that were played. It was 12-1 after 5, and that's kind of when TCU fans started to head to the exits. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the Frogs only tallied 4 hits the entire evening. And Lance Davis, Trevor Baumler, those guys just did not have a great outing, either one of them. We were kind of deciding who's going to start that third game. They both pitched and collectively gave up 10 of the 12 runs. So although the game was out of hand, I just want to say something positive to end it. I stayed for the entire game. We saw sophomores Ethan Thomas and Tyler Fano, both right-handed pitchers. They didn't do a terrible job. They only gave up 1 run each. And kind of obviously at that point, the game was out of hand. So, we're not expecting it to be even more of a blowout, but they handled their business. They got things done. So I expect to see more of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. My thoughts on this game, we're just doing high level kind of initial comments. The game didn't feel real to me. It was at the end of a very exhausting weekend, and it felt like TCU seemed a little emotionally exhausted after the Vanderbilt and Arkansas game. So, we'll talk about it more.
Sleepy Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into that now. It's a good segue into kind of what we're feeling about. Let's talk about Sunday specifically. Let's get kind of the bad stuff out of the way, and then we can, talk about all the hits and miss, the good things that happened over the weekend. But I think there was some frustration. I'm gonna just be honest with our listeners right now, but on our text thread about like, hey, why can't this team just, step on the neck of these teams throughout the weekend? And they get through 2 games, they kind of squeak them out 5-4. They're tough. And it's like, why not turn it on right now and show that we're a serious contender? And they whether they're tired, whether it's they ran, I don't know if they ran out of pitching, hopefully not, but there was no offense. The pitchers gave up a ton of runs, and it was like, hey, is this the same team that we can't do the full job? We can do part of it. We can have a great time for Friday and Saturday, but we can't finish it.
Yeah, it's going to be something to watch. It killed us last year, and we have 1 weekend of sample this year, and feels like a little bit more of the same. Although, thinking about it a little more today, it's 2 extremely emotional games against Vanderbilt and Arkansas. I'm willing to kind of give it a pass this weekend, but sooner than later, we're going to need to see their ability to finish a weekend, because we don't want to end up in the same position we were in last year, missing out on a host because we couldn't close out weekends.
Dude, I think sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the other team that you're playing.
Yeah.
Because, it wasn't just TCU that got throttled by this Oklahoma Sooner baseball team.
Yeah.
Everyone got throttled. Tech got throttled. Oklahoma State got throttled. It was like Oklahoma heard that they weren't going to be good all off season. They're picked to finish 14th in the SEC, and they went out and made a fucking statement.
Here's my question about that. Why was anyone confident OU was not going to be good? Because, everything we were saying about it was, we don't know what this team's going to be, because they were basically replacing everybody from a year before. It doesn't mean that that's automatically going to be a bad team, but I don't know how anybody was confident to say, yeah, this is definitely the 14th best team in the SEC. There was just too much unknown about them.
I find it interesting with the SEC because there's so many teams that they tend to lean towards the ones that have performed in the past, like LSU, Mississippi State, Texas. And it's like,
they were just in they
played for a natty.
They were, but they're still not seen as a SEC power yet, right? So they're kind of forgotten a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird to me.
I know, but they're being treated like Missouri.
Yeah, I don't know.
So tough scene, tough to be there to the end. I was hoping to see some things at the end that really kind of sparked my interest, but there was a lack of them. I'll tell you that.
No, we'll flush that one. I'm just hoping it doesn't become part of a larger trend of that one game. You can flush one game.
All right. So what I sent out to you guys was, instead of talking about each game individually, we're going to talk about the weekend as a whole.
Yeah.
And I want to start with hits and misses. So hits, obviously positive things. Misses are things that we're a little disappointed in, things that we wish we saw more of. We'll start with hits. So one thing I want to throw out there is kind of under the radar, Chase Brunson. He hit 400 over the weekend with 3 doubles. He didn't have a home run, which is obviously, Sawyer had one and Franco had one, but had a great hitting weekend and scored a lot. And I think his participation last year is continuing. So it was good to see him kind of start out fast.
While you're there, can I give you a miss?
Go for it.
Okay. So Chase obviously was good defensively, good at the plate, especially because he got off to a slow start on Friday. Like, he was the offensive hero on Saturday, and then he had a couple of hits yesterday in that game. But little rough on the base running. I think he was picked off twice or caught stealing twice and picked off once. So got to clean that up. But since you brought up Chase, I thought I would throw out a miss.
There you go.
To go with it.
A few more misses, unfortunately. So Noah Franco, who our star savior for pitching on Saturday night, he and Brady Dallimore, they both went 0 for 8 on the weekend with 6 and 4 strikeouts respectively. I'm not concerned about either one, frankly. It's the first weekend, but would have liked to see Noah contribute more at the plate, especially being his second year.
Remind me, does Brady Dallimore hit left-handed? I forget.
No, he's a righty.
He's a righty. Okay, well, the point I was going to make with Franco for sure is Arkansas and Vanderbilt and OU too, all 3 games, they threw a lot of lefties. Mm-hmm. That's a bad matchup for Noah.
Yeah.
Now, when Connor Fennell was in the game, Noah didn't have a hit, but he gave a couple balls a pretty nice ride. I think he had one of those really deep flyouts to the warning track.
Probably would have been gone at Lupton.
Yeah. But then after that, all he saw was lefties. Now, Brady Dallimore, freshman, might take him a minute to adjust to college pitching.
I mean, we said the exact same thing about Sawyer last year.
Yeah.
After the first weekend in San Diego.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I said. Not concerned. Would have liked to see, something better than 0-8. With Noah specifically, that guy, I mean, when he gets a hold of one, it's going to go so far. And his swings are so hard. And that's one thing I was watching, from afar for Friday and Saturday specifically. But I'm like, these guys are just swinging so hard. It's going to pay off at some point. And I have to believe that they're facing just excellent talent from the SEC. And they're just struggling to start, but they're going to pick it up.
I heard on another pod him being called a can crusher at the plate. I like that description.
Another sport. What do you think Noah's club head speed is when he plays golf?
I don't know.
50. I don't know what the right number is here.
Isn't it wouldn't it be like 120 or something? I don't know either. Yeah, like 120.
120. It feels like it'd be 120, 125.
Yeah.
Not something I've paid attention to. All right. Any other hits and misses? Big picture.
I've got a hit.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Friday, Vandy. TCU's ability to respond. If you look at every time after Vanderbilt made it 2-1. Every time Vanderbilt scored, TCU responded the very next inning.
Yeah.
By either tying it back up or taking the lead.
Yep. Definitely got some help there in the 8th with that error, which was obviously the biggest play of the game.
Hey,
I think
like baseball giveth, baseball
yeah,
taketh away.
It's hard. You can't really be a player on Vanderbilt and be too mad at your catcher for that error when he hit 3 home runs.
But also I'd be so mad because I would feel like we played better than TCU, and that one error ruined the game.
Well, I mean, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Especially in a tight game with 2 good teams, those are the margins. If you don't make plays in the field, it's probably going to cost you because you're not going to have, a 6-run lead to play with because the other team's good enough to stay in it.
Pretty awesome.
Here's a hit. Obviously, freshman Lucas Franco hit one of the longest home runs I've ever seen in that ballpark.
That swing was pretty sweet.
Did you hear the clip of, they asked him after the game when he flew out to the warning track, they said, it looked like he said something to Connor Fennell, the pitcher. He said, yeah, I told him he got lucky. That's pretty brazen. You're a freshman making your first start and you're chirping the pitcher. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna love watching him.
Okay.
Love the attitude.
So Jacob, you had a really good idea of a segment called the Coors Light Hot Seat.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more of what you're thinking in terms of like what that looks like? The Coors Light Hot Seat.
So they used to do this on like Sports Center where they would have someone and they would just fire off rapid fire questions, kind of like we do with guests sometimes.
I see.
But you may not have anything prepared for that for now. But what my thinking is like each week we would all take a turn being on the hot seat and then everybody else would have questions prepared. And you just rapid fire the questions at whoever's on the hot seat that week.
All right, boys, what do you want to know?
All right, Ray.
Yeah.
Average number of beers per game this weekend.
I drank so many beers that Chase sent a fraud alert to me and locked my card down because it was the same repetitive charge just over and over and over and over.
And remember, this includes the open bar from Coors Light on Saturday.
Yeah. God.
Dude, I paced myself pretty good on Friday and Saturday, but yesterday it caught up with me. That Sunday game was a bit of a struggle, especially since we weren't playing well. Wasn't really helping my mood.
That pregame shot really got me going.
So 2 wins on, 2 wins to start. And then yesterday was, again, we talked about kind of washing that out. But did y'all have any intrusive thoughts over the weekend watching the team play and their performance?
I mean, they showed they belong.
Yeah.
I mean, big bad like everyone talks about the big bad SEC, right? And that TCU needed to go out and win and show that they can hang with the toughest of the toughest competition. They showed that.
It's too early to worry about Sunday pitching, but it's hard not to at least consider it after what we saw yesterday. And to make matters worse, I think it's going to have to be Baumler or Lance Davis to figure it out. I would love to see Nate Stern slide in there, but we're going to be without Udi for a while because of injury. So we'd have to, backfill Nate Stern, who's going to be a key reliever on those Friday night games. So one of those guys are going to have to step up, but like I said, one game, can't really draw too many conclusions from it.
Speaking of belonging, Flow Sports sent out a tweet about, hey, call the Frogs, and it was Noah Franco, putting up his ear to the fans, and I quote tweeted and said, "Man, this is disrespectful. I absolutely love it."
Yeah.
And had a lot of Arkansas fans in my mentions who don't follow me. By the way, they do not follow me, but they were mad, and they are. This is one game. Like we own you all time. Sending me all-time series records of every time they've ever played.
from like World War II.
I'm like, all right.
So what Ray was doing to LSU fans over the summer with
Yeah.
TCU LSU.
Maybe this is this is the Arkansas version of Ray. I'm like, you're digging in deep, brother. And then after a while, sent me the same thing for basketball and football. I'm like, wow, we're going to other sports now.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Like, oh, you had fun. Congrats on your Super Bowl win.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Travis. This is a good reminder. If you've bought Flow Sports, now's the time to cancel Flow Sports.
Yeah, you still get the whole month.
do.
You can cancel it.
I canceled today through March 2nd and will not be watching anything else on there. All right. The next segment, make a case for. So one question I want to ask you guys is make a case for Sawyer in what position he should play in the outfield, because he moved around a little bit. He was in center. He was in right. Is there an advantage, disadvantage to him, kind of moving around like that?
No, I think the reason him and Chase are switching off is draft purposes, showing scouts they can each play center field because they're both, projected first round. So they both need time in a premium position like center field. I don't think it's strategic as far as TCU is concerned. I think both can play each position. So, it's interchangeable to me.
Not different player, but we saw Cole Eaton in left on Sunday. I didn't really notice a difference in terms of like overall outfield play. Like there wasn't like a particular error that I'm like, if somebody else had been there, they would have made it better. So at this point, I guess we're kind of blessed with having great outfielders all around.
Yeah, that's just to get another righty in the lineup against left-handed pitching for OU.
Am I crazy? Where did Cole, almost rob that home run? Looked pretty close. There was a home run.
That game feels like a dream to me. I can't tell you one particular play in that game.
Well, next question.
Modifications you'd like to see in the lineup. So obviously it's early in the season. We're going to have probably more thoughts as we move forward and kind of, understand what they're doing. But one thing I want to throw out there, Cole Kramer, who we all kind of projected maybe he was going to lead off, and I think it's a decent spot for him considering his experience. But he went 3 for 11. That's tough for a leadoff man, right? We want that guy to get on base, even if it's a walk or whatever, a little bit more than that. So, any thoughts on maybe moving guys around above Stroh-Snyder?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like early in the season, they're going to tinker with things. So there's no real set lineup for us to even judge yet. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if some point you see that freshman shortstop in that spot.
Well, he moved all the way up there. He hit him. They hit him
clean
fourth
last night. Yeah.
Yeah. After hitting eighth the previous 2 games.
Yep.
Any other position or modifications you like to see, whether it's the lineup or whether it's in the field?
Nah, things moved around so much this weekend, both on defense and in the lineup. We're in wait and see mode for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk to me by conference play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Positions to watch. The only one I threw out there was third base. We saw Jack Bell on Friday. We saw him on Sunday. And then we saw Kais Gargett, who actually did all right on had an awesome play.
I could say a little better than all right. That was spectacular.
He was there on Saturday. So do we kind of expect that to be a mix-up until we figure out who's best, or do we think it's going to fluctuate based on the day?
Again, like Jack Bell's a left-handed hitter. So for facing lefties, you're more likely to see Kais Gargett. But I'd love to see Preston Gamster get a start at some point too.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he played at all this weekend.
No. I was a little surprised by that, especially since, they switched it going from Friday. So Friday you had a righty up there. So Jack Bell got to start. Then Arkansas throwing a lefty. You had Caius. And I think Jack Bell was in there against the lefty yesterday too. So it'll probably keep switching like that, to be honest with you.
I wonder if you see Gamster tomorrow.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind that.
All right. So
I don't think we talked about Lucas potentially subbing out. I don't think that's going to happen now.
No.
Yeah. With the triple and home run on game 1. And
almost had 2 home runs.
Before we I'm going to do a quick conference recall. It's not detailed, just kind of what happened with the conference stuff. And then we'll end with, hey, why are the vibes high so far? But before we get there, what else did y'all notice over the weekend that we need to chat about?
Wasn't a huge fan of the uniform selection on opening day, but
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see the road grays, not the Tuesday night against UTA blacks. But I don't. Some national guys were like, "Those jerseys were sick." So what do I know?
I mean, it is a sweet jersey,
but for opening night, I don't know. It's not
because I'm used to seeing that. It's Abilene Christian in April on Tuesday. That's when I see that.
I mean, it's kind of like the team they were playing, Vanderbilt, always loves doing bits with their uniforms. They've got like a million different combinations.
I think they're the worst uniforms in baseball, but that aside.
All right. So teams that went undefeated in the Big 12, Arizona State, Baylor, Houston. We'll talk about them in a second. Kansas State, UCF, and WVU. All of them played pretty much no-namers except for Houston, who beat Wake Forest and Boston College in Puerto Rico. So that was interesting. It doesn't mean that Wake Forest is good, just was an interesting tidbit. Teams that lost. So Arizona went 0-3 to Stanford, Oregon State, and Michigan. Kind of a surprise.
Woof.
And then Tech went 0-3 in the same tournament, same Globe Life tournament this weekend, which is, again, they played 3 good teams, but it also tells us that Tech may not be back yet.
Well, they showed fight on yesterday.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, see, I was going to make that point too about TCU looking hungover against OU. Arkansas looked hungover against Tech.
Yeah.
Like they should have lost that. Tech should have won that game.
They really should have. Hey, Kyle, what did your UTRGV friends say about the experience with Kansas this weekend?
Well, obviously they were pumped about Friday night because they beat Kansas.
They beat Big Dom.
They beat him. So, he was pretty excited about like, hey, we can take this series. His last thoughts were, nothing. Like it was a lot of energy, chippy game back and forth. They couldn't handle it. So the fact that Kansas picked up a series at UTRGV, which they're an up and coming program, and my friend is expecting big things from the Vaqueros. So I don't know. I think that's a decent win for KU.
That looks like such a fun ballpark to get out to.
He has told me, I mean, this is a continuing thing, but over the last 3 or 4 years, he's like, every year there's more people that come out to these games. And now they're like sold out. I mean, they had almost 6,000 people at the game on Friday night. It's crazy.
That's fun.
Awesome.
So TCU will likely never play a series there, but dang, he's already talking about, hey, how many people can I get up to Fort Worth? Because they're scheduled. We'll see about rain, but they're scheduled to play 2 games in Fort Worth this year.
So. They'll play those probably because UT Rio Grande Valley, they like to come up here because they recruit DFW pretty well.
No, he's talking about because of weather, not because of like RPI cancellation.
I think he was using weather as jest.
They've always used weather.
Rio Grande Valley's good.
Oh, the weather's
there's a 2% chance of rain today.
It's awfully cloudy outside. I don't know. All right, fellas. Hey, let's end the pod tonight with just a comment about the vibes are high. So we had a 2-1 weekend. Awesome Friday and Saturday. Yesterday was a sleeper, was a dud, kind of but why are the vibes high? Moving into, so we have UTA tomorrow in Globe Life. Unfortunately, it's not going to be on TV. It's only on the radio. So we'll have to, fortunately, we get to listen to our friends. Chuck.
Just go to the game.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
And then meet us at Texas Live for pre and posties.
When you've got 3 kids who all need rides somewhere, that's a tough thing to match, but we'll see. And then obviously a massive series this weekend at UCLA, not even at a central location, but at UCLA. That's going to be super cool. It'll be on FS1 Friday, and then Big 12 or the Big 10 network, Big 10 Plus, whatever, on Saturday, Sunday. I bought Big 10 Plus for a month. It was like $14. So, Anyway, why are the vibes high, fellas?
Yeah. Well, let's see. We probably one of the hardest series we're going to have all year. We went 2-1. We're going to have 2 quad 1 wins on the resume. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, those are really good teams. We beat 2 of them.
Ray?
I mean, I just go back to Noah Franco, why my vibes are high. That was such incredible performance.
Unhittable slider.
Dude, wipeout.
Yep.
Wipeout. But yeah, TCU took care of the business. Like, people had asked me, leading up to Friday night, what does TCU need to do these next couple of weekends, right? And I said, going to Lupton, if they are 5-3 or better, big time win. We're off to a good start. You take two of 3 this weekend. You won the weekend.
Yeah.
So I'll say vibes are high because we had some notable players not necessarily perform great this weekend. So Nolan Traeger, Cole Kramer, hey, our transfer Rob Liddington had a good hit, but overall could have. And I think that I believe that those 3 and some others will perform better as the season moves on.
So real quick on Traeger, I haven't charted all 3 games, but I did chart the Vanderbilt game. He had 2 lineouts in that game.
He was he was mashing the ball.
Yeah.
But these guys, I don't know if you guys were at the game. I was watching the game on Friday night. I'm like, is every ball going to go to the warning track?
Yeah,
so we're going to be fine is the point. It's like,
Yeah.
Some of these things they're either going to fall or they're going to, go over the fence.
Yep.
You still found ways to win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and that's some really good pitching we face. Like, some of the best we'll face all year.
Yeah. All right. Awesome job on the recap, fellas. Frogs go 2-1 over the weekend. Some good SEC teams that we beat. So excited for UCLA, excited for UTA tomorrow night.
Then Wednesday, we have the Big 12 podcast on Patreon. Thursday, we have the UCLA deep dish.
Holy moly.
No days off.
No days off, baby.
I missed one. I didn't realize there was a Wednesday and Thursday. That's what you get for subscribing to the Patreon.
The Big 12 pack. We're going to take a look at the Big 12 in depth. So
all gas, no breaks.
Subscribe to the Patreon. Follow Anduno on Instagram, and you'll get a chance to grab one of those Anduno bags after a drawing on our first home series against what is it?
New Haven.
New Haven. Thank you.
Yep.
In a couple
Okay,
of
about those bags real quick. It was really cool because we Nathan had some bags out for display at the party.
Yeah.
The Coors Light party. And the look of people are like, man, these are actually really sweet, legit bag. Like, because we can talk about how great they are all day, but once you see that bad boy, you get it.
Yep.
You get it. All right, fellas. Appreciate your time. Thanks to our listeners and thanks to our subscribers to the Patreon. As always, we'll finish the pod with a Go Frogs.
Go Frogs.
Go Frogs.
All right, boys. Got to bounce. Oh, I got to end the stream first. That's